Hi, welcome to Family Theme Preschool Activities. I'm so excited to welcome Jody from Growing Book by Book here with us tonight. We have some literacy activities, some math activities, and just some fun ideas for learning and playing with your preschooler this week, all about family. Jody, why don't you start us off? You were telling me about this awesome book that you and your children were making.
We did. This week, since we were studying family, we were also piggybacking off of our theme last week of apples. We went apple picking, and then we decided to make apple butter, which is something that we've been doing every year for the last couple of years. Well, actually, I used to do it even when I was younger. So the way that we kind of put a literacy tie into it is we created a family recipe book. So what we did is actually while we were making the apple butter, which is kind of an all-day process because it cooks in the crock pot for like 12 hours, I took pictures of each of the steps and just had those printed at a local drugstore. And then we laid out all of the pictures and we did a sequencing activity with them on the floor and put, which thing did we do first. So it was great for getting those the first, second positional words like that. And then we put them in. I had a little blank board book. This is actually a Bear board book. And we put the pictures in the book, and then I had my preschooler dictate to me what was happening in each picture, and I wrote it down. He isn't yet writing letters, so that's why I did all of the writing, but he dictated each page. And so this was a great thing to have. Not only is it a keepsake for us, but it's also something that we can read every night. And he has great interest in it because it's pictures of him. So that was our activity that we did this week for family. And we've done a few more of those too. This was another one that we just did. This one I had professionally done. Spiral bound is just another option. We did the ing words, action words of all the things that we've done this summer. So we did the inexpensive route of just making your own, and even if you didn't have one of these, you could easily just take construction paper and staple it together and have a little mini book, or go the professional route. There's lots of online resources to have books made too. So that's what we did this week.
Which is super funny because there's a company that had a free book promotion today, so somebody was trying to get all my pictures like from the summer quickly done so that I could have like a summer memory book, which is what, and then you don't realize how much time those take to make.
They're so fun when you get them done. This was one that we did last summer. This was our ABC Summer Fun, and it's just,
that's awesome.
It did take forever, but yeah, I scout out all those coupons on Groupon and all those places, and then make books.
And it was like for like less than $5 shipped, I could have this, pretty hardbound book. But then, like, when you get down to it, like you were saying, is if you just take the pictures and send them to the drugstore for, a couple dollars and make your own construction paper book, and you let your kid tell you what the sentence is, like, to me, like, they're more of a part of the process. Right. And just because it's not professionally made doesn't mean that it's not any less important. In fact, I think they may have a stronger connection to it when
absolutely.
It is.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think those will be some of the first books that they pick up and read themselves. So
yeah, I think I definitely need to do more of those. And we're going apple picking this weekend, so maybe I'll do that. Yes, take lots of pictures. My kids haven't apple picked yet, so we're headed up north and we're going to do that. Well, I love your ideas, kind of tagging on with the literacy theme. We were doing a literacy poem, and I just had my child tell me something sweet, and then it says my grandma's the best. She is sweet like candy, and then he got to tell me what she can dance like and that she's pretty like. So we're kind of working on making some for my grandma or for their grandma, and then some for grandpa, so that we have like little kind of care packages to send in the mail. I try to, like, once a month make sure that we have a letter to them with a little poem and pictures from all the kids, because we live long distance, which today on Educator Spin on It, I shared tips for Skyping with preschoolers, because we have family abroad and we have family in the country far away, and so we have experience using different, software programs connecting virtually with family. And some phone calls or video calls end up going smoother than others. And so I'm like, did this family connection really go? Because I think I'm more frazzled than I was before we connected. But some tips that some friends of ours online have shared was, talking to your kids about expectations before you do the video calls, and making it more of a routine, so that like when you finally do connect, it's not like, oh my goodness, we have to tell you everything. It's
Right.
more like, this is our routine, and we're so used to this because we just saw you virtually last week. So hi, watch me play. I can be silly, and even if it's just a 2 to 5 minute phone call or video call, we're still okay. So I thought that those are really good things to remember as I'm trying my hardest to make connections with my parents and my children and my husband's parents. And we have a wonderful added benefit of a language barrier as well, because my kids don't speak fluent enough Russian to communicate with their grandparents. So we're trying. And now, Jody, you have family in another state too. You were saying, do you Skype?
Right, we do. We have family out of state, so every Wednesday and Sunday we Skype. So the boys Skype tonight with Grandma and Grandpa in Kentucky. But then my mother-in-law is from Germany and goes back there often too. So we get to Skype with her when she's in Germany, which is great because then we can see extended family there, and she helps to be a bit of a translator. So yeah, I think it's wonderful, and the tips that you shared today on the Educator Spin on It were great. Very helpful.
Well, you're such a good mom with the schedule. Like, I feel like, oh my goodness, like I need to do it more often, and then it somehow just kind of skips in, and then it ends up me talking to my parents, and then the kids miss out on it. So I'm
I have to give my husband all the credit for that one. He's the routine one, and he's got that schedule set up. So.
Well, I think that's important, just penciling it in, because family is important. I mean, like, we're having a whole unit on it because it is, I mean, like, it's not just 1 week or 1 month in a school year. It's really the whole year integrated in. These are just kind of ways that we can tie in learning to that. Which, speaking of learning, we were in our couple minutes before the Hangout went live, we were both talking about how preschoolers can make like family puppets. And I taught kindergarten, and we've all done, as a teacher, all my colleagues and coworkers have done some sort of version of an about me picture, or about my family, or family puppets, and we all have our little bit of a unique spin on it, and then the kids take it whatever way they want to go. So my 4-year-old made a picture of him, and in classic form, it's screaming. So and he made sure to say, "This is me." Ah! And said, "Perfect. Yes, that is you." And he goes, "It was supposed to make one of my family, but I'm part of the family." And you are such a preschooler. Mm-hmm. So, and Jody, you were showing me the one that you guys did, right?
Yeah, we did. My mom actually made these for us. So it's a whole jar, and in the jar are our family members on little sticks. So they have a picture at the top and then their name. And so we've used these a variety of ways. We use them as prayer sticks. So at the end of the night, we'll pick out a couple and pray for that person. But we've also randomly have drawn them and have drawn a picture or wrote a little note and sent it in the mail to people. So they like to play with the sticks. Sometimes they'll just take them out and even sort them too. So these have been fun. We got these for Christmas from my mom, who made them for us. So kind of similar to the puppets.
Oh my God, that's like an awesome Christmas gift. And I noticed there's quite a few people in your little basket.
Yeah, this is a lot of, I mean, it's all the cousins and
Okay.
it's not just the immediate family, yeah. So it's aunts and uncles and cousins, and so, yes, lots of people. So.
What a wonderful way, though, to keep your kids thinking about the whole family beyond, like, the walls of your home. That's fabulous.
Right, and especially people that we don't see because they do live far away, to kind of be bringing their pictures up on a consistent basis so that they will be able to identify them in photographs and things later when they get older. So.
I'm so making those.
Yeah, they're fun. I wish I knew where we got. I know it came from Pinterest, but I can't remember who was the brainchild of that. But it was not my original idea.
What? Picture on a stick?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, I've taught kindergarten for many years. We won't say how old I am. But I know that I taught kindergarten way before Pinterest was ever invented.
Yes.
And we did people on sticks. So I think what's great is that like the ideas and the concepts are so, like, a good teacher uses other people's ideas. And I think that we all can put our own spin on things, which one of our Playful Preschool colleagues had an article today, and they were graphing the boys and the girls and their families. And I thought, oh my goodness, that's an awesome idea. So I wrote boys and girls. Well, my printer ink is not available at the moment. And I was like, oh, how can I spin this activity of graphing and sorting, which is preschool math and what my child needs, to what I have available? And so I went and dug in our dollhouse box, and I found all my dolls. And so I literally put them in this big pile, and I said, okay, we're going to do math. And my sons looked at me like, are you serious, Mom? How are you going to do math with dolls? And I said, okay, well, here's the deal. This is the family. And in families, sometimes there's boys and sometimes there's girls. So we're going to sort them. And so we had this great discussion because my son's favorite color is pink. And so he says, well, just because they're pink doesn't mean that they're girls, Mom. So I was like, you're right. Just sort them however you think. So we put all the boys in one and all the girls in the other. And we're like, okay, those are great. They're sorted. And so we put, I have them all mixed up now. We put all our boys in one section, and we put all our girls in the other one. And then I said, okay, so how many more girls or boys do we have? Which one is more? And then we literally, just like she had done with her family pictures, we lined them all up and compared them. And so we made like an interactive graph. And so we were counting, we were comparing by greater than and less than. We were discussing, which number is bigger and which one is the most. So we're using those vocabulary words. And it was, maybe like a 5-minute activity, but it was right in the middle of pretend play, and the kids kind of took it their own way. And so my preschooler was like, oh, well, let's make a bedroom for the boys. And so then they ended up making a diving board for the girls, and they were swimming. So it kind of catalyzed play in a different way while also integrating some of the academic standards. So it's I guess kind of what we're aiming for with Playful Preschool, where we're taking play and kind of adding a little bit of academics to teach the core concepts that we want our kids to learn.
Yeah, I thought that was such a neat idea.
Now, I did have one last thing. Did you have any other ones that you wanted to share, Jody?
That's all I had tonight.
That's all. I think what's hard with the family unit is that families are so unique and special to the people that are in your family So I know it's hard for teachers to generalize that, like, this is what a family is. So that's why things like counting how many people are in your family is good. But as parents, what's nice is that, like, your mom made those sticks for you. Like, you can make a family unit very personable to your specific children, which is the great thing about making a difference with your kids. So this activity, I literally just printed off sentences, and we're working with some beginning reading sight words. And so I wanted him to understand the difference between a word and a sentence, and that the words together make up a sentence. And so we've just been reading these sentences. And of course, he's not getting along with his brother very well this week. So he kind of reads the last sentence, I love my brother, with a little bit of distaste. So it's kind of interesting. He goes, I love my mom. I love my dad. I love my sister. And then he goes, I love my brother. And I've kept the same order because he's not reading. Some preschoolers I know are starting to read, but he's not really interested. However, he loves his family. And so I'm trying to use that excitement and that motivation about me into this reading thing. And so I took one of the sentences and I let him cut the words apart. And that's when we were talking about it. And then I just put, you know, those magnets that, like, you get in the junk mail?
Yes.
Yeah. So I just cut them up and glued them to the back.
Perfect.
And that way, when I'm done with them, I don't feel guilty getting rid of them because I've already reused them at least once. And so this way, I can mix up my words, and then he can help me rebuild the sentence. And we've done it a few times, if you can tell. So that's one way I'm kind of trying to sneak in words and sentences with this family theme.
It's a great activity, and it's short and simple, just perfect for a preschooler.
Well, and what I was thinking is, going back to that, your first book, is what I should do is print off a picture of me, a picture of him, and literally write those sentences on a card or on a construction piece of paper.
Yes.
Where it has a picture of my husband. It says, I love my dad. Like you're saying, sometimes it's short and sweet little books that are available in almost like a different format that might get him engaged in reading and excited about words.
Because those are the ones, I mean, my boys love almost all books, but they really gravitate towards the ones that have pictures of them in it that we've made or that I've had made. So I think it is important to have books like that in your home library, along with all the other great books by great authors.
Yeah, and I think too, I want him to actually start reading, and I know a lot of books on my shelves are not at his level.
Right.
Where it's not his independent reading level. He likes to listen to it being read. Which, do you have any family books on your website?
You know, I was just thinking about that. I don't have a book list of family books. I think I've highlighted maybe a few here and there, but that would be a great idea for a book list.
That would. But Jody does have a whole bunch of amazing book lists and great literacy ideas on her website. So I encourage you to check it out and make sure to plan like 15, 20 minutes to sit with your idea book. Because I know every time I go to your site, I'm like, oh, I want to do that with my kid. And so I just sit and write down my ideas. And that way you can spend 20 minutes browsing and then do all those wonderful ideas for the next week and then go visit her again next week.
Well, thank you.
Hey, isn't that what we all do? Like,
oh, yes. A little
have to use other resources.
It is fun. I have a whole stash of my favorite bloggers that I visit each week and get their ideas. fun.
So if you would like more family-themed preschool activities, I will put the links below for you to click and visit. Until then, happy learning. Bye.
Bye.